Hello, my name is Ruta. I am female coach, emotional well-being practitioner, trauma integration specialist, and holistic womb healing enthusiast. And I'm continuing with my Mood Mom Diary. So I am breastfeeding at the moment, and I wanted to talk about breastfeeding. When I was pregnant and I was thinking about how I'm gonna feed my child, I took interest into breastfeeding, and I kind of read literature mainly in hypnobirthing as a part of hypnobirthing. Also, I did a couple of courses on breastfeeding, so I got lots of theoretical information. And she was born, and reality started. So I can now verify that knowing something theoretically is completely different thing than doing it practically. And also, when people say breastfeeding is hard, they mean it. Breastfeeding is hard. My daughter had to stay in a neonatal unit for a couple of weeks, and I got very good support from breastfeeding specialists in that to try to get her latching. She was a bit too young. Apparently, young premature babies, they don't really have a capacity to properly breastfeed just yet because the reflexes and instincts are not developed yet. So need to have patience with that. Also, they're not strong enough to feed as much as they need to. So we had to have feeding tube down her nose for a couple of weeks, but then finally we got rid of that, and then we were sent home, where I am still breastfeeding exclusively. So it's been a month now, and I must say, even with the support of all the people that I had, it's been a task that required lots of persistence and resilience, because even when you know how to latch her correctly, when you know tips and tricks, still you need to have this determination and stubbornness, because everybody's different, and maybe some people get it right and maybe some babies get it right straight away. For me, I needed to kind of redo it. For example, when she latches on and it's painful, need to disconnect the latch, break the latch, and then re-latch her and do it so until she latches on correctly. So at the beginning I didn't quite do it, and it was painful, and I was like, okay, I cannot continue like that, because if I do, I will not be able to bear the stinging sensation. So I need to actually get her to latch correctly every single time. And then so that's the technical bit. The other bit is how often you need to do it and how long it takes. You need to do it pretty often, and now my daughter is on a growth spurt, so she kind of feeds, then she kind of falls asleep, then she kind of sleeps a bit. Sometimes I need to change her nappy and she is awake, and I need to feed her again, and it's like that. So, and it's the same in the night. So all those mothers out there who are breastfeeding and who manage to do that for several months, bravo to you, my respect to you. And and for all of those who haven't done it, we can do it. But at the same time, I actually completely understand those mothers who decide not to do it anymore, or it becomes too taxing, too stressful. So all those mothers who feed their babies in any way, bravo to you. So emotionally it's hard if you don't expect it to be so hard. Also, emotionally it's easier to persevere if you know why you're doing it. So if you know all the benefits of breastfeeding, or responsive breastfeeding. I'm doing responsive breastfeeding. And because I'm a kind of like, I self-educated myself about benefits of all of that. It's easier to persevere because the reason to do so is much stronger than you just think, oh yeah, it would be good to do it. When you kind of go into depths of like, you know, what it means for your baby, what it means for you, what you're giving to your baby when you do that, then you kind of like have an extra layer of motivation, and like several layers of motivation are needed to be able to do this. Okay, I will continue to do this. I will let you know how long I can do this, and then if I at some point decide not to do it anymore, I'll let you know, and I'll let you know my reasons for it. I think it's easy to judge, and it's easy to say, you know, everybody should breastfeed, or everybody should not to bother with it, and, you know, just save their nerves. It's easy to say that, but in reality, it's actually, when we drop the judgment, I think if we drop the judgment and we just like, okay, I think this is good, I personally think this is important for me, this is important to be able to do this or to give this for my baby, then, you know, like, you do it for different pile of reasons, and then if you don't do it, you also have your reason for not doing it. So as mothers, kindest and most gentle thing we can do to ourselves and to our fellow mothers is support each other to wherever we are and wherever we want to be. If you want to be breastfeeding, breastfeed. If you want to do formula, you do formula. If you want to do both, you do both. If you want to do responsive feeding, you do responsive. If you want to do some timed feeding, you do timed feeding. So, you know, I mean, like, who's there to tell what is the right way? I mean, nobody knows. There are some researches and evidences and things like that, but then there are also unique situations, unique people, unique babies, and unique mothers, and, you know, there cannot be one shoe fits all sizes in here. So that's that. My name is Ruta. I am emotional well-being practitioner, female coach, trauma integration specialist, and a holistic womb healing enthusiast who's currently on maternity break. So I'm sharing all of these things with you. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time.